Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 2
It's
of
episode
Skip-Worthy Cinema.
2.
Yes, we're so happy to have you, especially after we made you watch this awful movie this week. What movie is it, Dallyn? Tell us about it. You know.
Cats 2, The Return of the Felines. No, it was a Mario Brothers, a Super Mario Brothers, with Mario and Luigi.
We got a lot to unpack this week, but before
gosh.
we do, thanks so much for everyone that listened to our Cats episode. We had a lot of fun watching that, right, Dallyn?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Please don't lie to the viewers.
We did have fun recording the episode, I will say that. We got a lot to go over for this one. If you guys have any suggestions for future movies, or if you have comments on the movies that we're currently doing, send us an email. It's sidequestguys@gmail.com, or you can send us a DM on social media, or you can send us a voice message. Just go to anchor.fm/Skipworthy Cinema, and you'll see a link to send us a voice message. And if you do, we'll include it in the podcast. It'll be pretty cool.
Everyone has their least favorite movies, or those bad movies. Like, everyone, please share your ideas, share your thoughts, share your suggestions with us. Like, we want
your family favorites.
Let's have fun. Let's have fun with this. Let's just go crazy. Let's have.
We're
fun
in
with
this together, especially during quarantine. I think this is a good quarantine activity.
Right now, it's a good one. It's a good one.
All right, well, let's dive right in. All right. So a couple things.
So Bowser captures Peach, takes her to the castle, and then you go through a few levels, get some mushrooms, and then you save Peach by knocking a switch, and he falls in the lava. It's just like the game.
That sounds like that would be good if that were the plot, but that is very much not the case.
No.
So
I wish.
The thing you might need to know about this, most people are probably vaguely familiar with Mario in general.
Right.
There's Princess Mario, you got Princess Peach. Bowser is the big turtle guy. He's kidnapping Peach, and Mario's trying to save Princess Peach. And obviously Luigi is Mario's brother. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Even if you're not a gamer, you know about Mario. You pretty much know the premise and simple plot of the whole thing.
I will say, though, there is something that you need to know going into this, which is this came out in 1993.
93, yeah.
Which means that there weren't that many Mario games just yet.
No.
So I feel like watching this now, it ages especially badly because it opens up this whole extra world that they thought of Mario could look like.
Yeah.
But ever since 1993, it just does not look anything like that.
I mean, look at Back to the Future and what they thought their interpretation of the future would be like. I mean, do we?
Well, I even just mean within the Mario universe. Like, I think they thought it looked different, and then now they've made all these different games and stuff.
Exactly. It was a different time. It was a different time with different mindsets, and if only they could have imagined what a Mario game looks like now and how it feels and its world and its characters and so 93 limitations.
Yes. Let's do a quick little plot review for anyone that didn't watch it. So basically, we got Mario and Luigi. They are brothers. They are a quick little note that happens at the end, which I thought was the dumbest thing in the universe. They're the Mario brothers, which implies that is their last name. And they straight up say it right out loud. Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Yeah,
I just could not get over that.
What's your name? Mario. What's your last name? Mario. What's your name? Luigi. What's your last name? Luigi Mario.
It's just so weird.
And they have pasta. They do have pasta.
There are many Italian references in this movie, and I will point some of them out. Yeah. Okay, so basically Mario and Luigi, they're regular plumbers. They are working for the weekend.
They're in Brooklyn.
The Scapelli brothers.
They're in Brooklyn. The plumbers in Brooklyn, but they're broke. They are broke.
Yeah, they're very broke because of the Scapelli brothers. They always taking their.
They got us again. They beat us again.
Yeah, and so that's their rival company.
Yeah.
But basically what ends up happening through a bizarre series of events is their van breaks down. Luigi meets the girl of his dreams, who's an archaeologist. And then they're in a weird underground tunnel. But anyway, what ends up happening?
You're missing the beginning where
I know. We'll go over the whole thing. I'm just giving like an overview.
Okay.
Basically what happens is they end up getting sucked into an alternate dimension, which is the Mario world, where where there are dinosaurs, we will explain why there are dinosaurs. So, but basically, that's where all this happens. So, let's just the very beginning, the first 15 seconds are like
is the better 15 seconds than the Cats movie, because I didn't watch those 15 seconds ago. I hate
no,
this
it's true.
movie.
I was just confused.
Yeah,
So
it was a girl running. A girl running. She's like carrying something.
Oh, I didn't even mean that. I meant
Oh.
the freaking 16-bit dinosaur part.
Oh, right. I totally spaced that part.
Yeah, so it has like Super Nintendo graphics, and it's telling a story of
what happened to the dinosaurs. Essentially,
what happened to the dinosaurs,
and the dinosaurs were talking to each other. They're like, "Hey, Timmy, can't get better than this." Yeah, it doesn't get better. Like they're chewing grass, and they're just like, "Yeah, it doesn't get better than this."
Yeah, and then they slip in. Oh yeah, and then the meteor opened another dimension when it hit. Like they just slipped that right in. Like, oh yeah. Everyone knows that.
It's in everyone's history books.
My first thought was, what does this have to do with freaking Mario? I don't know if you thought the same thing.
Well, that and pretty much every other plot twist or premise in this movie was what exactly I thought. What does this have anything to do with Mario? But
right, exactly. The comment I made to my wife as we were watching this was, if you take the Mario out of this, this is a fun little sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
like a little, you know what I mean?
Honestly, if you give those two characters different names,
Lenny and
Carl,
Marion and Lenny.
Carl, I like Carl.
Carl and Lenny, the plumbers. Even though they weren't plumbers, if they're just two guys, like this would be a fun little '90s movie. But it's just bizarre because they try to make it into Mario.
And I think it would have even been more forgiving of a film if you didn't have Mario and Luigi as the characters. And
absolutely, because I think that was the problem. Was it was almost like they had a screenplay for a whole other movie. And they just were like, let's make it Mario.
And let's face it, there's never been really a amazing video game to film adaptation, but this was the first one. Like this was the first video game to film adaptation.
They didn't really, and they were going off of these like super rudimentary graphics. I mean, nowadays they're going off of like
Mario 64 wasn't even out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they didn't even have 3D graphics to go from.
Yeah.
So I think we got to cut them a little slack for like things like what the Goombas looked like.
A little.
By the way, if you didn't watch it, this is what the Goombas looked like.
It's just
it's bizarre.
Yeah. So Mario 64 came out in 1996. So
that's way after. That's like 3 full years.
That's 3 full years. So they haven't even perfected like. Don't misunderstand. Like the original Mario Brothers is a timeless classic, but they hadn't really perfected what Mario could be. Like people to this day say Mario 64 is fantastic. So the world of Mario hadn't even been fully reimagined.
I think that Mario 64 was really like when Mario was Mario. Like that's what defined it completely.
Right.
And so after that, we have this weird interpretation of Mario. Like 3 years before that.
It's so wacky.
But we have a freaking lot to go over.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so we have first of all, the baby hatches from an egg. Don't know why that happened.
Yeah, this lady does this full Moses thing, saves her baby, whatever, to a bunch of nuns, and they open it up like. And then this little portal thing, like this Superman thing, and it's just
they're all fine with it too. They're like,
it's an egg, yeah.
It's another portal,
portal baby, and an egg. And at first, when it hatches, as we see like a scene of the mother gets yanked, and the baby hatches. And I'm expecting a creature, coming out, and then I'm like,
and we never hear about the mother ever.
No.
We don't know why she was running. I'm assuming from.
Oh, we do. We have one scene with the villain, the female villain, which we can get to later.
Oh snap! Did they explain that? I must have missed it.
I mean, she pretty much says what happened. She's like, she snatched you and she went through the portal and took you away and then died. Like literally everything we had seen.
Still better than Cats. At least there was in there somewhere.
Still better than Cats.
So
it hatched and it was a human baby.
Yeah, right. It hatched into a human. Yeah. It's fine, whatever.
And then it goes straight to Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi's on the couch watching like YouTube conspiracy videos or the 1993 equivalent of that. And then everything is the most Italian thing I've ever seen. So something I'm going to note here do you know who the composer of this music was? So the thing that you need to know about me, I'm a composer myself, and so I pay extra attention to this kind of stuff. It's Alan Silvestri. Now, if that name rings a bell, it's because he wrote the music for The Avengers and Back to the Future
Ah.
and many, many more that are very famous and very good scores. So the score was actually really good.
It was, well, even the beginning intro as it's introducing Mario Brothers, it gave you that
Yeah.
Mario theme. It gave you that Mario song, and you're like, yeah, and then you don't hear it at all throughout the rest of the
Actually,
show.
there were a few subtle ones, but it wasn't anything like really.
I was ready for
obvious.
my da 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 da
They
da
did
da.
have little. They had little things like the one up sound was in there, like
Just
that. Da-da-da-da-da-dum.
it just
That was in
it
there.
wasn't noticeable enough, especially like if you're like getting your Mario Brothers movie, you want those elements, and it
Yeah,
just
you're
wasn't,
going to see all the stuff.
and it just wasn't enough. But we'll get to that. Sorry, but like,
No,
yeah,
it's fine. It's hard to not jump around because
yeah,
it's very weird.
bad films, doesn't
Okay,
matter.
so then Luigi, their van breaks down because Luigi never takes care of it. Hi, Luigi. What are you doing?
Yeah, he's like,
Um,
you did not tell me. Was that the radiator was out? You didn't
he's
tell
like,
me.
he's such a screw up, Luigi.
Yeah, and then
So
we see the most awkward payphone scene in the
that's
history
so
of
true.
man.
He's just standing there like,
Yeah, Mario's like, yeah, we're broke, so check our messages to see if there's any work. And Luigi's just sitting there listening, and this girl is just frantically running over, and he just stares at her. And then she's sitting there waiting, and
she's
then
kind of like,
she's
okay.
sitting there waiting, and then he just hands her the phone, like mid messages and all. He just hands her the phone, just nothing, just hands her the phone.
Freaking Luigi.
Yeah,
But anyway, he like really has like a huge crush on her. Obviously, Mario's like, go ask her out. So they're both really really awkward. And then they ask him on a date, right? Okay, so this was
but you
another
find
fun
out
thing.
there that girl's name is Daisy.
That's right, Daisy.
In the
Which,
middle of the
again,
conversation.
very odd choice.
She's
Was Daisy like in the Mario games and stuff?
She must.
Because obviously there is a Daisy now in the Mario games.
She must have been, because how do you put? But that's the thing. Regardless of,
Could that have been like a coincidence, or did this come first and they just named it that? Because that would be funny. Another funny thing here is that Princess Peach's name is actually Princess Toadstool. So even so,
Princess Daisy appeared first in Super Mario Party, in Super Mario Land, 1989. So Daisy.
Oh, okay. So it was like a character in the games.
So Daisy was already created, but Peach has always been the iconic one. So right.
I'm just surprised they didn't try to even have her nickname be Peach or something. Yeah, like Mario's girlfriend.
There is zero reference to Peach throughout this entire film.
Choice.
There's nothing.
Weird choice. You
don't hear Bowser's name, or you don't hear Peach's name at all.
Well, I don't think Bowser actually was Bowser back then. I think he was King Koopa. I don't think he was even called Bowser still. But anyway, so then you have then it transports you. They're at a restaurant. It's a double date. Mario and his girlfriend. I don't even remember her name because it should have been Peach. And then Luigi and Daisy. And
because 1985, they changed his name in 1985 to Bowser. He was.
That's messed up.
But yeah, so that's the thing. Peach was relevant and Bowser was relevant before, but neither of them are mentioned at all in this film.
That is weird. Yeah. I just assumed, but yeah, that makes sense. Well, anyway, so they're at this restaurant. It's a double date. Mario and his girl, who, like I said, should have been named Peach, but whatever. And then Luigi and Daisy. So they're there, and Mario cannot get over how excited he is that Luigi's on this date. He's like,
yeah. Watching this date, you would act like this couple had been dating for like a year, like it was so comfortable, like kind of awkwardly comfortable.
Yeah, very much. Well, and they were like, get together. Like, they're just weird vibes.
We'll take the van, and you guys, you go do your thing. Yeah,
that's right. What the heck?
Yeah.
And then so then she goes, okay, let's just go on a walk. And so they're like, all right. So then they're walking down the street, and this is one of my favorite parts.
Luigi, I'll walk you home.
Yeah, he's like,
I'll walk you home. Yeah,
then he goes, if you want to end this date right now, I understand. And Daisy's like, no, if you want to end this date right now, I'll understand. And he's like, no, but like if you want to end it,
I understand. It was so. It was like a conversation that you have after you've been on like 3 or 4 dates, and you're kind of at that stage where you're like, is this going to go somewhere? Like, it's like, do you
Three
feel
or
it?
four? That's 3 or 4 dates to you, man.
Some people.
I understand if you want to end this
Well,
date. It's really weird.
well,
I'm
no,
really weird.
not just dates, but like dating. Like after like, okay, let's say about 4. After 4 dates, and if you don't feel it, you don't feel it, and you move on. Like you don't want to keep going if you don't feel it after 4 dates. But like, they just had dinner together. Like he met her at a payphone. They just had dinner, and he's like, if you want to end this date now, I understand. It's like that conversation's when you've been dating.
Well, also just chill, man.
Not after dinner.
And then she's like, "Oh, well, no, I don't want to end it, but do you want to come into the sewer with me and see some dinosaur
Yes,
bones?"
yeah. She digs up bones. Like that's
Yeah,
that's
she's
her
an archaeologist.
that's her job. But
So they end up in the sewer, and man, we got so much left to go. Well, I
yeah.
just realized we haven't even gotten to the Mushroom Kingdom yet.
Oh gosh.
So then they're in the sewer, and she's like, "Oh, it's a dinosaur with a thumb. It's like he's trying to be a human." What? All right, I'm just gonna move
Yeah,
past
let's
that
just
because I don't
move
know what
past
that
it.
means.
Yeah.
Then they long story short, the tunnel floods because of the evil other plumbers, the rival plumbers.
Rival plumbers.
I don't know what their point. I don't know what their plan was, but okay.
And then the main villain sent henchmen after to capture. Which, lo and behold, actually they capture Mario's girlfriend, thinking she's in disguise. Yeah, don't let her. But they've like kidnapped 5 girls already, and they're like,
yeah, they kidnapped the five wrong women.
Yeah, I'm 0 for 5. What percent is that? 0 for 5. I don't know, but it's not good. Like literally,
dumb.
they don't know the percentage of 0 to 5. But yeah, and so they follow him and knock out Luigi and Mario.
They end up getting knocked out, and they kidnap Daisy, and using so then they follow him down into the sewer more, and they find a weird like portal thing in the canyon wall, I guess, just underneath, very easily accessible from the New York City Brooklyn streets, I guess. Okay. Seems really safe, but all right. And then we get dropped into what is essentially, if you've seen Back to the Future 2, it's Back to the Future 2, but in the center of the earth, basically.
Okay, yeah, I would say that's a good comparison.
So all the props and the scenery and stuff down here is just like so bad. It's like cars with like just stuff on the outside, like no effort made to make it look original.
You won't like this though, but in fact, the only award that movie got was for its costumes and props.
Are you kidding me?
That's the only award it got. Oh.
I can't believe that. That is actually really sad. Because I mean, costumes specifically, like what was an interesting costume in that? Just everything had spikes on it.
It's the 90s, man. It's the 90s.
Okay, well, so this is another thing that I loved. So then Mario goes, "Luigi, where are we?" And Luigi's immediate first thought is,
Manhattan.
We might be 100 years in the future. We might have been unconscious for 100 years.
Yeah, and they're like, "No, it's got to be Manhattan." He's like, I was only here like a few weeks ago. Well, lots changed in a few weeks.
Very bad theories, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, not that getting sucked into a sand portal in the dinosaur dimension is a easily guessable theory, but
it was so weird because they're trying to set up that it's somewhere different by like saying roads are like with Koopa stuff here and there, but you've got half the people there look just like normal humans, and then you got like half the people with like kind of like reptilian stuff, and so it was like so bizarre. You couldn't you're kind of like, what is this world? It didn't.
This was my main issue with this was the dinosaur thing. I think they tried to go, okay, Yoshi's a dinosaur, Bowser's a dinosaur. Yeah. We can kind of mix them together and make it all like one, like they're all one species. Mm-hmm. Anyone that's not human is one of these things. If they were going to do that, they should have made everybody a dinosaur.
All right.
Because otherwise it's just weird and hard to follow.
95% of the people just look like normal people, and then like 5% just like had these weird, it looked like deformities,
exactly.
But it wasn't enough for you to get like kind of sense of maybe the poorer people are the ones that can't afford to be normal humans or can't look normal or whatever.
It would be cool if they went into a little detail like that.
Like, yeah,
but they didn't. It was just like, look, it's dystopian nightclub future. It was literally just Back to the Future.
Like literally, I sat there and I was like,
in the bad neighborhood.
What's the difference besides the fact that they're eating bugs, like, or lizards or whatever? Like,
it's just so weird. And then it's kind of grungy Mad Max cyberpunk stuff.
Yeah.
Along with it. and then everything runs. I did have one epiphany, which was everything runs on electricity. Why? Because dinosaurs didn't die out in that dimension.
Oh gosh.
Because they're the dinosaurs, and there's no gas because of the fuel.
Okay.
Like the dinosaurs turn into fuel, right? Anyway, I thought that. I don't know if they did that on
fossil
purpose.
fuel.
I don't know if they did that on purpose, but if they did, that was very clever. Okay, so then we're in this world now.
The main bad guy.
Basically, you look at all the billboards have King Koopa, Dennis Hopper, King Koopa. He's like, oh, Dennis Hopper will kiss your baby. Yeah. Dennis Hopper will be, or
which
King
was
Koopa
a doll, not an actual baby, which was
I know that was even weirder. What was that?
It was a doll.
They couldn't find an actual baby.
Yeah, the henchmen come to him and they're like, "We got your princess, we got your girl." And he's like, "Where's the rock?" Because she had a little stone around her neck.
Yeah.
Since a baby.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that.
There was the main plot twist. So she arrived as a baby with a stone that was attached to her little portal thingy or protection vessel or whatever, and then it's been around her neck this whole time. And then the Mario Brothers grabbed it as they were trying to save her or whatever through the portal. Yep. And so the dummies are like, "We got her." He's like, "Where's the stone?" And they're like,
Which, to be totally fair, he didn't ask for the stone. He asked for the princess.
And so he's like, "You didn't get it. Who's got it?" And then they sat there.
Princess. It's a spoiler, but like, who cares?
And then they're like, "The plumbers got it." And so literally King Koopa,
get me those plumbers.
Get me those plumbers. And so literally he sends like this little announcement over the intercom through the city of, "We need plumbers looking for these 2 plumber brothers or whatever, 2,000 coins or whatever." So
Koopa coins. So then I was really annoyed by that part because it was just, I get really annoyed with like convenient plot exposition. Like, they can't just make it part of the story. They have to have somebody rant about something. Like, we've been trapped here for 100 million years. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so like forced into the movie because they have to just say it at some point. Yeah. And so it was like not natural dialogue.
Because you wouldn't know what was going on otherwise.
Yep. All right, so we got another line that was great in that part was, "Can you tell me where I am?" And the lady goes, "In my way."
In my way.
Loved that.
And then you get this random big old black lady who comes in on her little hover boots.
Oh, that's right.
She literally just comes in, and then she actually, this grandma. It was this old lady.
I was gonna mention the grandma.
This old lady. She's like, "You boys are new? You from out of town?" And they're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Do you have weapons?" And they're like, "No." She's like, "Oh, you'll need weapons." She gets out this little stun gun taser. And she like stuns Mario. And then this black girl hovers in with like this huge black girl comes out with these hover boots, but so naturally she's like so serious the whole time. She's just like.
And you say black girl because that is a clearly, literally, if you see this, you will understand why you said that. Because it is not even just that; it is central to understanding what she looks like.
Yes,
because she's just like presence that's just like.
She comes in though. She picks up this old lady and just throws her in trash. She just throws her, and
then she goes off on some subplot.
She
on the back of some other
car. She
ends
up in another car,
shooting the strangers,
and these guys are just like, "Well," and she starts shooting them. It's like, "You're in my car, woman, and you're shooting."
Why are you shooting me?
But the lady, the lady in the big red suit, the black lady in this big red suit, she just grabs the. Actually, it's on Luigi's neck, and instead of doing anything, she grabs it. He's like, "Hey, that's not even mine!" Like, instead of stopping it, he's just like, "Oh no!" And then she takes it, and then she does her little rocket boost away. But it's so just like elegant and just serious and graceful. Just
it's just weird. Like, not like trying to like balance, not like trying to go up like a superhero. Just like, I'm standing.
Yep, so serious. So that lady's got it.
Another thing with that is that supposed to be some kind of Mario reference that I just don't understand.
I don't know. Let me look. Let me look
That's
and
what
see.
I mean. Like, I know I've played Mario games since I was a kid, but I don't recognize any hoppy boots like that. Like,
no,
that seems odd to me.
Maybe that's just their reference
thing?
of their little bounce and jumps. But like I don't know why, because that character's name was Big Bertha. Like, literally, her name was Big Bertha. So that's no reference.
First of all, A, that is just a ridiculous, unoriginal name, and B, what does that have to do with anything?
That's right. That's what I'm saying. If like this character was supposed to resemble something from the games, she doesn't. She doesn't.
Not at all.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh, I got the jump boots. That was my next note. Actually,
So jump boots. The
then,
Mario Brothers don't have the stone, and the henchmen don't have the
yeah,
stone.
yeah, and then we meet Toad, who is just a street musician with circles shaved into his head.
Oh gosh, and he's a
and
bad musician at that.
And he's a bad musician, but he sings this very upbeat song about the dystopia that they're in, which is very helpful for plot exposition, which I was very grateful for.
Because it got them all arrested.
Right, and then they all get arrested. They weren't even doing anything.
So
other than just
I think my favorite part was the police officers were arresting him for singing the song, and then Mario's like, "Hey, you can't arrest him for singing a song. If it's about King Koopa or whatever, you can." And then he looks at his waist and he sees like these tools. He grabs like, "Hey, you're a plumber. You're under
You're a plumber.
You're a plumber." So he grabs him, opens their metal bar doors, and he's like, "Come with me, plumber!" And he just throws him. Just, "Hey, you're a plumber."
All right, and then that's when we get that amazing Mario and Luigi Mario line. Just amazing. I legitimately thought that was funny
as they go through the process of getting their photos. Actually, they're lined up to get their photos taken, and then the police officers look like they're going to shoot them with their guns, and then it just turns into this long camera that just goes,
and they're like, ah!
Yeah.
Okay, and then actually part of this I would like to bring up with you. They're going through the line of like getting disinfected, I guess, because I guess King Koopa is a germaphobe, or something.
Yeah.
Something I've noticed was they sprayed like the spray that they were spraying on everything to disinfect it. They opened Mario's pants and like sprayed it down there. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, it's cold."
Why?
Because you could get away with that back in the day without.
They're not gonna get that intimate. I don't know what he's concerned about. No, but so then we have and then King Koopa comes in pretending to be
a lawyer,
their lawyer, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Steve Lawyerson or whatever."
Yeah, some made up name.
And then they're like, "Oh yeah, who's this King Koopa clown?" And he's like, "Clown."
And then he like grabs Luigi. It looks like he's gonna like smash in his eyes.
He gouges his eyes.
And Luigi's just like, ah.
He's a wimp in this whole movie.
Yeah, he's
the only thing he does is trust the fungus. Okay, oh my gosh, we have so much more to talk about. Okay, so
you think the premise and plot would be super simple. No, it's a little hard to explain.
Like, okay, tell me if this would not be a way better movie, okay? The whole beginning is exactly the same. Forget the dinosaur thing at the beginning, okay? Just do from the part where she gets hatched from an egg, but it's a Yoshi egg, like a white egg with green spots.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
She gets hatched like that. Then from the moment they go in the portal, it's like Space Jam, and they go into the animated Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like the actual Mushroom Kingdom story. Wouldn't that be way good?
Kind of also with the Enchanted film where you've got the real world and then you've got the animated world.
And you could do it the other way too, where you could have like Bowser go in the real world and everything. And...
differentiate what's reality and what's the other world, because like I said before, 95% of the people look just normal humans, so it's really hard to tell what's so different. Aside from, it's like instead of a hot dog, here let's put some little bugs on your bun, and
there were lizards. And I remember that because they were face down like this, and it was on the bun, and then they smashed it together, and it was like, okay.
So then they get arrested.
They get arrested. This is when we get introduced to the Goombas, where basically he reveals what his plan is to de-evolve the human-looking people in the dinosaur universe, so that they're all dinosaurs, because that's the superior. He's kind of like dinosaur Hitler.
Well, what he wants to do is he hates the mammals. He hates the mammals, which are humans, and he
wants to wipe them out. So he's literally like dinosaur Hitler.
He wants to make them de-evolved into monkeys. So
why? I don't understand
why. Because they're superior. I don't know. Anyways, so
because he wants to rule both dimensions. Right?
He wants to rule both dimensions.
Why would them being monkeys help?
Because
you want to be the king of the monkeys?
He just wants to feel superior over, because apparently we are superior, I guess. Anyways,
it was like they gave him a very clear motivation, but the motivation didn't make any sense.
So both dimensions have evolved into humans. Like we have have both evolved into humans. We evolved from apes in our normal world. They were all dinosaurs, but they've all
Right.
evolved into humans as well. And so he's got this machine that can devolve you or evolve you, essentially devolving you. Go back to a dinosaur, you do it to a human, they become a monkey, essentially. And so he does that a few times. Like Toad actually becomes, I think it's your character in the background that he did that to.
No, because Toad has a harmonica.
But essentially the same face. It's like essentially,
But yeah,
it's exactly the same face.
They have teeny tiny heads compared to their bodies.
It almost gave me vibes of Cats, where I'm like, this looks so unnatural and creepy. But
and
yeah,
like this is the thing. They're supposed to look scary, like they're like the henchmen, right?
And
they just look so stupid.
Yeah, and they don't really talk either.
I think they're kind of going for like a comic relief. I think they're kind of trying to make him funny.
Yeah.
So I kind of got to give them credit because they are kind of funny.
Well, yeah, when Toad went to get food, she's like, "Oh, I'm a vegetarian," and then he comes. She's like, "Don't you have steamed vegetables?" And he comes back. He's like, "Vegetables."
I think my favorite part about that was he goes and gets the vegetables. He comes back. He sees Yoshi, which we'll get to that. He sees Yoshi like attacking this woman to death.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I need to deliver these vegetables still. Yeah. And he goes off in the hall like looking for her still.
Yeah, because Daisy's running away and he's just like, vegetables. Yeah.
It's very weird. But anyway, so that's basically why we have the Goombas. So then they put King Koopa in. Mario and Luigi escape, and they put King Koopa in this machine that devolves you. But then they make him. They like put him in there for like 2 seconds, and then
it gets interrupted. It gets interrupted, so it didn't.
But really... like they kind of implied, like they had like his eyes turn into like lizard eyes. Like they kind of implied that he was different somehow.
So it did enough, like probably to like start a process. It probably
that's what I mean. Like they didn't really explain.
Of course not. Of
what
course
it was doing.
Of course they didn't explain it because it's this movie.
So they managed to escape after doing that. They get on a zip line that goes conveniently throughout the whole street and kingdom.
Oh, and half of this movie were teased with the normal bomb, like the little bomb. You're teased throughout the whole movie.
To bring in the fungus. We haven't even said anything about the fungus yet.
Well, there's fungus throughout the whole town. Like there's just fungus everywhere, and it keeps like delivering bombs or like mushrooms or something.
Like if you've seen the classic Mario bomb, it's like a little bomb.
And Luigi's like I feel like for some strange reason, like Luigi's power is just he feels connections to things because
that's his only power.
It's his only power in this whole thing. So he like literally trusts this fungus as like mushrooms and bombs and is trying to deliver all these things. Long story short, turns out that this fungus has been de-evolved from Daisy's father. So Daisy's father is this fungus that's been de-evolved so far
but
far
he's
back.
The king. But he's the rightful king of the Mushroom Kingdom.
So
that's how we find out she's the princess.
So anytime this fungus thing is around or trying to deliver something, it's the king trying to help the Mario brothers do their stuff. Oh, fungus.
Yeah. And then, this is when they make the henchmen smart, which was, I don't know why they did that. That makes no sense.
Yeah, don't even get me started.
And then, then we find out that Yoshi, we get introduced to Yoshi.
Which looks like a little Velociraptor, essentially. So
And, huge, huge flaw here. You're going to go, oh my gosh, that's so obvious now that you say that. Why didn't they make him big enough to ride? Wouldn't that have been an awesome scene?
You want to know what my issue was that freaking tongue, man. That tongue was so disturbing.
I think if he had been more cartoony, if he'd been more like Yoshi is like this really cutesy little dragon.
Honestly, you want to know the reference of what it looks like? It literally looks like the baby T-Rex from Jurassic Park Lost Worlds.
Jurassic Park.
So if you've seen Jurassic Park Lost Worlds, it literally looks like that.
It just looked like a caricature of a velociraptor.
So
giant head, giant feet.
And then I was like, is that Yoshi? And then he's like, and this is Yoshi. And this is like, this doesn't fit well.
It doesn't work.
Anyways,
I did appreciate that they actually tried with the tongue. They shouldn't have made it.
Oh, it was disturbing. It was disturbing tongue though. So Yoshi and Daisy bond essentially. So. And Yoshi gets stabbed. For some reason. Yoshi gets stabbed in the freaking neck.
I remember being like, what the heck is going on? Nintendo was okay with this?
So literally, about 20 to 30 minutes of this film is the Mario Brothers are trying to help break out Daisy, but like it's such a slow burn. So like literally we can skip 30
Oh,
minutes of this
true.
film because literally it's nothing important.
They try various things. They just are they steal a car. Like it's really pointless.
Yeah.
Like it's just various things. But they end up trusting the fungus. And they bounce real high on it. I guess that's the whole. And in that point, Yoshi helps. We haven't even mentioned the freaking the evil lady. But basically, she's been the one that's
like the lover interest. She's like the evil lover of King Koopa.
Kind of. They never. It's kind of implied, but
yeah, but they
really...
freaking go in a mud bath together, and they do stuff together. So.
But then. Anyway, but so like Dallyn said, there's a lot of this movie that is just them trying to running away, like with this kind of crazy like music, and that's all that's happening.
Yeah,
and everyone's coming after them with weird weapons and stuff. But okay, so we're at this point where Daisy's escaped. She's in the place somewhere. Yoshi is with her. The Mario Brothers have also escaped. They're kind of almost getting
and then like Daisy's on the intercom and she's like, Mario, Luigi, or whatever, where are you? Help me, or whatever.
Did we get to the nightclub yet, or am I too early?
And that's the nightclub's before
next,
that.
Right?
The nightclub was just a scene I was trying to skip, I guess. But like,
are you kidding? That's the best part.
It brings back the because the Mario Brothers meet up with the henchmen and they're like, hey, give us the rock, we'll give you the Daisy, we'll get us to Daisy, we'll get us to... So that's literally...
That's right, because they're smart now. So they're
and like... so then they put on these women's suits. They're like, they're my ex's clothes. They're like, why are you wearing these? Oh, they're my exes or whatever. So they go to this strip club.
It's not a strip club.
Pardon me. It's
it's a nightclub.
It's a nightclub, but it always says
I will say though, one of them is wearing a red suit and one of them is wearing a yellow suit.
Yeah, it just didn't work.
Why did they do that? Why didn't they just go for two different colors, like two completely different non-Mario colors?
I don't know.
Anyway, disregarding that, they go check in, and they get, the lady calls the cops.
The ladies they're going to get back the stone. That's what they're doing. They're going back to get the stone that's right,
because they know that Big Bertha is there at the club. That's right.
And so and Mario's like, I'll charm her, and like he goes up up to her and she like punches him in the face. And then
like instantly,
and then he goes back to her and he's like, I want you to do it again. Like literally, that's his charming line. He's like, I want you to do it again. And she's like, dance with me. And then they dance for like literally 5 minutes. My favorite part
about Mario doing that was it freaking worked.
It did.
That should not have worked. He
literally went up to her.
It paid off.
Yeah, he literally's like, do it again.
And she's like,
At one point, like he dips her, he tries to bite the necklace, and then he like. So essentially, he danced and he took the necklace away.
Okay, let me just. If you didn't see this scene, this might be worth the quick trip to YouTube. If you could probably find it because it's just bizarre.
Yeah,
it's him trying to get the necklace off of her, but it's like there are so many. Like he tries to do it in the most obvious ways that she absolutely would have noticed. And it's just very odd. And then the filming, the least likely looking way is the one that ends up working.
Well, also you have to be aware of these awkward camera shots because this big old lady is in this really tight, scantily leather dress thingy, and it's low cut, and so every shot is
hanging right here.
So the stone is literally just tucked away in cleavage. So literally, you've got the shot of just like
that's the joke is that he's like.
So literally, endure like 8 shots of just
and it's way
cleavage.
Too long. It's like 5 minutes too long.
Yeah, this movie's a very slow burn. So
also, were you surprised to find out that Walk the Dinosaur was in this movie? You know that song? Open the door, get on the floor.
Oh no, I'm not surprised.
But it's from this movie. This is the movie that it's from.
Gosh,
which that surprised me. And then we get to the amazing scene in the elevator. So they managed to grab the stone. Then they get into like a big service elevator, and there's the Goombas. It starts filling up with Goombas, but they're really big, so they're like able to like kind of like maneuver around them and hide them. And so Luigi goes, "Okay, we need to get out of this somehow." And there's this kind of waltzy music playing,
elevator music, yeah.
So Luigi goes, "Oh, I know what to do. I'm gonna make everyone dance."
He literally gets behind one of them and he starts just swaying his butt side, like literally. And you're not a Goomba going, "Who's touching my back?" And so he goes one by one.
He doesn't do that. He just starts going.
Yeah, he literally goes one by one and does the same thing to everyone, and these Goombas are just like, yep, that's how he tames them.
And then they start dancing with each other, which was even funnier.
Yeah.
And then they managed to, in all the commotion, they managed to get out of the elevator hatch. But then the cap of all of this, the best part was the head Goomba or whatever. It opened, the elevator doors open, and the head Goomba's like, I legitimately, like, I don't know if they knew how dorky that would look, if that was intentional, or if they were like, no, this is like a good plot point. Although I will say this is back when video games were not viewed as anything but toys. Like, they were
That's
viewed
true.
as like kids only.
Yeah, like,
and so I kind of have to give this movie a little bit of credit, because it's
no one took video games
clearly
serious. No
Yeah.
one took him seriously. Like, it wasn't the biggest selling point in the entertainment industry. Like, looking at 2020, video games is bigger than both movies and music. Like,
Yeah.
combining music and movies, video games is still more popular. It sells more. But like back
Yeah.
then, you're right. It was just, it was kids. Kids were playing on their Super Nintendos or whatever. Just like
Exactly.
it wasn't that big of a deal yet. So.
Oh, also, I have to bring up this amazing missed opportunity, which is Mario ends up finding the women, his girlfriend and the other women that they captured accidentally.
This scene ticked me off.
Is it the reason that that I'm about to say?
We'll see.
So he's up on this like second level, and there's a Goomba in the room, and she got this stupid girl.
Well, his girlfriend. He tells his girlfriend.
Yeah.
She
sees him. Yeah.
And so
you go ahead.
It's for some strange reason, his girlfriend's smart. She's like, oh, okay, but then she goes to one of her friends. Like, there's like 6 of them in there. She goes to this one girl, and she's like, shh, careful, Mario, my boyfriend, he's up there, and she's like, oh my gosh, Mario! She like screams at the top of her lungs. I was so mad. I'm like,
that's not even the worst part. Okay, so Mario goes, I have to beat the Goomba now. So, classic Mario thing. Everybody knows it. How does he defeat the enemies in the game?
He punched him. Well,
no, but how does he do it normally in the old games?
Well, you jump on top of him.
He was on the second level. The Goomba was right there. He swings on a rope and kicks him. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? It was the most obvious.
I was more ticked off with that woman that literally was like, you don't understand being a hostage very well, because you're about to be rescued. Mario!
That was, I feel like they were really playing up like the girls are stupid stereotype.
There's a lot of,
not that it's a stereotype, just like it was dumb. And then they were like, Daisy's like, oh, but Daisy's not like the other girls. She's smart. Like that's almost like, I felt like that's what they were trying to do.
And there was one girl that literally she's in like 4 scenes, and she's got the same cigarette pose in all of the scenes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like literally this girl, like literally every scene, she's got the one arm up, the cigarette. This cigarette, it still hasn't deteriorated. It's still there. She never smokes.
Yeah. She's just,
I like to hold it. I can't stop. I can't quit.
This is around the time when King Koopa
orders a pizza.
What's going on?
No,
he's ordering a pizza, and then he finds out what's going on, and he's furious, and so he goes out and he's like, I gotta take care of this myself. And so he goes out in the street. He confronts everybody. Of course, there's a big final battle. Mario and Luigi have these jumpy boot things that Big Bertha had, and they have this kind of final battle. The little bomb. The bomb.
I'm sorry, I have to. We skipped
go ahead.
We skipped my favorite line in the whole thing. So, King Koopa's lady or whatever, she ended up with the crystal from the nightclub. I don't even remember how it happened, but she ended up with the crystal at the nightclub. She tried to get King Koopa to like, no, let me help, let me do this. He's like, no, I'll do it on my own or whatever. And so she's like, fine, I'll do it myself. And so they find out that she has it. The police apprehend her, take it away. And like the main police officer, he's walking away after he's taken this girl into custody he's got the stone. He's walking by other police officers. And he goes, "Hail Koopa!" We had to get our Nazi Hitler reference in there, just like nonchalant.
Like, it's so obvious. They're trying to make it so obvious.
There is no other references. Like, you never hear another police officer, another person ever do it throughout the whole thing, just nonchalant, just Hail Koopa.
I do think there is my favorite line is actually about to happen.
But yeah, but then it goes into we're in the town square,
yeah.
and then we've got the boots, and then King Koopa's got like this fire gun, and like they end up having like a 25-minute fight that just didn't end.
25 minutes. It was long though. My favorite line was he confronts. He's with Mario and Luigi, and he has like a gun pointed at him, and like he has a little walkie-talkie, and it goes, "King Koopa, your pizza's here," and he goes, "Not now."
And then they were like, "But your pizza's ready." He's like, "Later."
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like you just let the pizza thing go.
Yeah.
He was just ordering a pizza. You don't have to bring it up again.
Yeah.
So that was hilarious.
So then they fight. The slime, the fungus gives him the bomb. He like literally twists it, sets it down, and the bomb starts to sizzle, and then it does its typical
it like starts walking away, like little tiny wind up. It takes forever. They're fighting back and forth.
There's like 8 scenes with this bomb just like walking different areas.
It takes forever.
Yeah. This fight takes a while.
Then you get the payoff of they have these portable de-evolution guns, and they shoot King Koopa with it, and he turns into
Bowser. Essentially,
it looks like a walrus with a T-Rex head, kind of.
Yeah, that's like you literally get a total of probably 7 seconds. 7 seconds of seeing what Bowser typically looks like. He's in human form the entire movie, except for these like 7 seconds.
Spoiler: he looks nothing like actual Bowser. He just looks like a walrus with sharp teeth. So then, ta-da! They do that, and then they de-evolve him even more, and then he turns into goo. Everything is saved. They get the king back. They change the fungus back into the king.
How would you like being the actor who's the king that literally has one line? He gets up and he just like pops out and he goes, oh, poof, gets out a little dust, and he's like, I love those plumbers. That's his line.
Yeah, I know. It was just weird. And then Luigi had that hilarious moment that I forgot to mention where he meets the fungus and he's like, nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah, because he was interested in his daughter.
Oh man!
Oh, I forgot.
And then basically,
I forgot these outfits, the red and green. Literally,
the one
they don't
in this picture.
Yeah, they don't happen. Like they're literally in just like normal clothes until and so they're about to like do their main Daisy rescue, and then they literally find these clothes and they're like, ha! So
at the last, it's like literally the last 10 minutes.
So literally, and I also don't remember that rainbow belt on Luigi, but like,
oh no, it was there. I remember.
I just don't remember.
I actually noticed that very early on.
But like honestly, their moment would be like, hey, let's make them look like Mario and Luigi. There's no plot besides let's get ready conveniently. Look at these clothes in the locker.
The thing that annoyed me was they actually had a reasonable plot, but I didn't really like. I kept trying to tie it back into Mario, and I couldn't do it. Because it was like, oh, like we have to get the crystal back to put in the meteorite so that we can merge the universes. Then King Koopa can rule them all. But I'm like, but why does he want to do that? Like there was motivation.
Pride.
There was
maybe it's all about pride and laughing at the monkeys. I don't know.
It was so weird.
But the lady ends up getting the crystal, puts it in, and throws her back and zaps her, and literally she turns to bones. Like she just
and embeds into the wall behind her.
And then Luigi said something like, "Oh, she's embedded in history," or something super cheesy or whatever. And then and so it starts fading, like King Koopa, Mario, and a bunch of the others into the normal world, and everyone's like just sitting there like, "Oh!" And he uses that on someone and makes him a monkey. And then
that's right.
And then they use normal tools. They use a drill and like other tools to get this freaking meteorite back out.
So this is the very end. Daisy's like, thanks Luigi, but I gotta stay here with my family.
I'm a dinosaur. I'm a dinosaur.
Yeah. I'm actually a dinosaur.
And like every time Luigi was trying to have a moment with Daisy, Mario was in the background like, this is what she's doing, Luigi. He's narrating like what they're obvious. He's like, she's got to understand if she appreciates being there or here more or whatever. He's like, she's got to find herself, Luigi. And it's just like,
yeah. So she sends them home to become plumbers once again. And then the reporter's like, I call them the Super Mario Brothers. And they're like, oh, I like the sound of that, which was ridiculous. But then at the very end, there's like a kind of Marvel post-credits scene.
after Daisy comes back with a freaking gun, and she's like, "I need you guys."
Like, I need you guys, and so they go, "Oh, let me grab my plumber belt again."
Like literally, it's like, let's go save the world, and like how they get ready, they literally just get a tool belt, just random.
They just have it hanging by the door. Can I, you know what bothered me the most about that? That implies that there was a sequel like on deck. Like they were ready to make another one.
that literally was cliffhanger set up. Like, we've got 2 in the works, but it probably just didn't do well enough.
Honestly,
obviously, it didn't do well enough.
I think if they had changed the Goombas, I think if they had made the place not like a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and they'd taken out all of this weird dinosaur crap, and then they'd maybe like changed Bowser into an actual like dragon thing, and they'd made it like into what the Mushroom Kingdom looks like, I think this would have been fine. I think this would have aged a little bit, like how movies did from the 90s.
This weird complex of everyone being human, but some aren't and some are more.
It's just weird. It's hard to, because it took me forever to realize, they evolved into humans somehow, but directly from dinosaurs, instead of from monkeys. That's what it took me.
Like halfway through this film, I forgot that this was a Mario Brothers film, because like they'll try and remind you, like literally Luigi and Mario will say each other's names over and over to remind remind you that he's Mario, he's Luigi, this is there, but you still forget that this is a Mario Brothers movie, because like it's so wacky. Like no matter how many times you say your name is Luigi or Mario, it just you forgot what this film was supposed to be.
Yeah, like I said, take out the Mario of it all. This is a cool little fun 90s
nice 90s sci-fi night that you can laugh with friends.
Yeah, exactly. So it's bad,
but it's still not the worst film I've seen.
I legitimately, though,
there was entertainment.
I actually kind of enjoyed it.
There's entertainment value.
It wasn't bad, and I think the part that I enjoyed was like it kind of, in some ways, it was a little bit self-aware. Like it knew what it was. Like it made jokes that were like the Mario thing. Like it knew what it was doing, and it's kind of aimed at kids a little bit, and so it's more, I could forgive it a little bit. Because it was bad, but it was like it could have been way worse.
If you go in knowing you're not going to get a typical Mario story and premise, it's kind of awkward and creepy, and like the plot is just like a weird jumble of nonsense.
Honestly, if you'll
have a good time.
Forget the Mario thing. Forget it completely. They're just 2 random guys. They happen to be named Mario and Luigi. That's the only thing that has to do with anything. If you do that, you'll actually probably enjoy this. It kind of reminds me of like one of those like a E.T. or Flight of the Navigator, like one of those one of those kind of movies. It's kind of like
it has its 90s charm, its 90s cheesy charm. It does. So if you go in with that, it's not. Yeah, it's definitely a bad movie. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a bad movie, and it's literally, if you go to any site that like gives you lists of bad movies, it's gonna be on every one of them. It's gonna be on every one of them. But you could go in there and find the entertainment value, like it's so forced with its cheese, but you can there's a lot of chuckling. And
like I said, it kind of knew what it was in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. So the question is this skip worthy?
I mean, I went my whole life until this point without watching it, and I could have gone my entire life without watching it, but I've heard a ton about it. But it is definitely a skip worthy.
It's definitely
it's definitely skip worthy. Like because there are better films. And if you're looking for, especially if you're looking for that 90s charm, like there's clearly that 90s charm that you can love and enjoy.
The score is so 90s, like a caper.
So like there are so many better films out there that you can get that charm for.
But you know what? If this one's 99 cents on Apple TV, and it's there, just rent it.
Okay,
it's great.
You'll only get me to watch this again with a ton of friends and a bunch of wings. Like, give me a bunch of wings and a ton of friends where I don't even have to pay attention. Like, this is a movie you don't want to pay attention to, because
and then you just look for a second and go,
because even when you pay attention, you don't know what's going on.
Accurate, I would agree.
So, with that. And Cody, you're definitely right. You take out their names, which they like half their lines were their names. Honestly, it's just a sci-fi movie. It's just a cheesy sci-fi film.
Agreed. So, like I said, if you're in the mood for a silly little '90s movie, haven't seen this one, it's super cheap on the Google Play Store or something like that. Maybe do it, and it's great for a laugh, as we've proven here.
But it's still skip
Um,
worthy.
it's definitely skip worthy.
Yeah,
And you know what? I think we're coming to a close. Do you have anything else you
yeah,
wanted to bring
yeah.
up about this ridiculous movie?
No, just if you are looking for a Mario Brothers movie, you're not going to get it here.
Right.
You're not going to get it here.
Well, thanks for joining us. This has been a good one. I actually had fun on this one.
This was much better than Cats. Thank you so much.
If you have any movie suggestions or comments about this episode, you can go ahead and send those to sidequestguys@gmail.com. You can also DM us on social media or send us a voice message on Anchor. You can go to anchor.fm/Skipworthy Cinema, and there will be a link there to send us a voice message. You could be featured on the podcast if you do that.
And you have to have the voice of either Mario or Luigi.
Yeah, hey, Mario. That was Mario.
Luigi.
Hey, Luigi. Oh.
The radiator.
He's aggressively Italian in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for joining us. Make sure to follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're at SideQuestVids there, and follow us on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, go follow us on your favorite podcast app. We post these episodes every week, and we're gonna keep doing it, especially during quarantine. Yeah. Well, have a good one, guys.
Okie dokie.
Stay tuned until tomorrow, and then you'll find out what next week's movie is. We can't wait.
Peace out.